Welcome to the Alternative Products Podcast, the ultimate hub for counterculture enthusiasts and innovators. Whether you're a seasoned pro or just starting out, we've got you covered. So sit back, relax, and let's explore the world of alternative products together.
Cool. Here we are again at the Alternative Products Expo with the Alternative Products Expo podcast. Our next guest on the podcast, we have Cory. And again, we're here in Dallas, Texas. Cory, tell everybody a little bit about Not Your Son's Weed, where you guys are based out of, and a little bit about your story.
I appreciate it, Mike. So Not Your Son's Weed, we're out of Durham, North Carolina. Went to Chapel Hill, so go Heels, but out of Durham, that's where Duke's at. Not Your Son's Weed, the brand, how we came about. We were in the CBD manufacturing days, and when the Delta products came around and all the different cannabinoids, when we first tried it, I was like, well, hey, you know, it's not as intense as the weed that I was smoking in college. Sorry, Mom, but it's not as intense as what I was smoking in college. It's probably like what it would have been around in the 70s when you had flower in the 70s and what they would have smoked back then.
Okay.
So I was like, well, it's probably what my parents would have smoked. So we said it's not their kids' weed, it's more of theirs. So Not Your Son's Weed, that's how it came. As you'll see, probably not a zoom in here, but if you did zoom in, 70s vibe all the way around. We 70s logo, all of our branding very focused on the 70s. Just again, old school, Woodstock kind of vibe is what we go for.
Okay, so the idea behind it is it's not as strong as your traditional weed that they're smoking right now and nowadays.
I think when it first started, right, just Delta 8. I think since we've learned about and it's wild, bro. You know, talking about just where the industry is, the medical space and the recreational space, all they cared about was Delta 9. And really THCA, right? But that's all they call is Delta 9. And as we've learned about THCP, HHCP, these other cannabinoids along the way, I think it is as potent as what today's just normal weed on a dispensary is.
Yeah.
We can create products that are, not only that, and I'll go into it because that's getting a little bit deeper about our vision, but with the terpene profiles, the different cannabinoid profiles, you can create blends that are stronger, but also other ones that are achieving more of what people are looking for. And so you have the guy that wants sleep. Well, you know, you might do more CBN, more of a linol terpene base. Instead of people just thinking, oh, well, it's higher Delta 9, higher THCA, I'm going to get as high as I can and go to sleep. Well, there's other stuff that can make that sleep a little bit better.
Got you. And do you guys have a storefront in Durham, or are you just in different smoke shops? How's that working?
So no flagship store yet. We've talked about in the big cities. It's coming.
Okay.
But we're in about 300 to 400 stores across the East Coast mainly, and then we branch out a little bit in Dallas, a little bit, you know, Tennessee, going out a little bit more west, Midwest.
And the smoke shops that you're selling to, I would think you're selling wholesale to smoke shops and they're selling your product as retail. Yep. Now, are they giving you any feedback on the people that go into the store and sell and what they're looking for? Like, are they looking for the strongest products on the market, or what's that kind of feedback that you can give to our viewers?
I'll get real with you here, Mike.
Yes.
Smokes. When we started out, it was a CBD hemp store focus first.
Okay.
It was a high quality brand. Everything that we do is to the highest degree. From our chocolate, it's a 150-year-old Swiss chocolate company that we use as the base. Our gummies, vegan pectin, all natural ingredients, all natural flavoring. Our vapes, shout out to Fleur. I know they sponsor a lot of y'all stuff. Less than a 1% fail rate. Fleur device, our distillate, you know, it's all 90% plus distillate. True terpenes, botanical, hemp-derived, GMP certified terpenes. So I say all that to say it is all highest quality stuff. Our cost is up there. And so smoke shops, vape shops, like you're talking about, they're so price driven. And again, getting real with you here, bro.
Yep.
They're so price driven. And I get it. You know, there's a market for everybody. But a lot of those guys just want as cheap as you can go. And we haven't always been able to get to that level of the price that they want. So we were hemp store, CBD store focused first.
Yep.
Then we brought on chain stores. So, you know, we have some guys, out of respect for them, I won't say, but 20, 30 locations where they do care a little bit more about the brand and the integrity and not just lowest price. And then we have some distributors that do sell to the smaller smoke shop guys that might be more price driven, where as we've grown and we've scaled, we can get more competitive, but that's not our personal focus. It is chain stores that have a reputation, hemp and CBD stores.
Okay, that makes sense. And
but to answer your question, sorry,
sure.
bro. We get feedback.
Yeah.
They're, again, smoke shops, vape shops, they've kind of followed the trends on what's hot in the market. I think a lot of that comes from distribution, pushing it down the pipeline of this is the hot new thing.
Yeah.
I think that's where a lot of it comes from. when Delta 9 came around,
Yep.
we saw a huge push for it because it was everybody. I think our industry did more education for people on this is what you're used to smoking in weed. It's really Delta 9. And then as THCA, that seems to be that next trend that we're going to hop onto. There's a lot of trends like THCO we never did, a lot of other cannabinoids. And again, no hate, I won't list them all out.
Right.
We just didn't do because it didn't, one, some of them weren't naturally in the plant, right?
Yeah.
Like an acetate. Two, it didn't do anything more than what Delta 8 and the other blends that we already did were doing. So it's like, why go out here and do a big marketing push? Why not just continue to create real product that's actually making a difference? And that's kind of our moral compass on what we do.
Nice, nice. And speaking on Delta 8, when you guys got into the industry, was it brand new? Was it something that's been around already? As far as legality goes as well, what markets were legal? What markets did you have to stay out of? Can you kind of expand on that?
Yeah, bro. So again, CBD manufacturing days. So we're at the forefront of it. 3T, who was kind of the first to market, from what I understand, with Delta 8.
Okay.
The guy, our distributors that had their contract on the East Coast for selling in North Carolina.
Yeah.
And that's when we first learned about it. Probably 3 months after him selling it is when of him selling 3Gs when we got into it.
Okay.
So very on the forefront. Legality, it used to be like all 40 states that didn't have any kind of medical in it, that weren't going against it. As states went medical and recreational, and some states just making it illegal because of whatever reason, we were selling to, those markets were open for all of it. All those markets were available for us to go into.
Even though the legality was not where we want it to be, as far as everything's 100% legal, people were still going into those markets and getting the product out there.
So yes, bro, they were, and I think that's why you started seeing laws come down the pipeline,
Yeah.
because people were wanting it, and anybody was selling it, because all states fell under the Farm Bill, and so Delta was kind of the deltas were kind of the change of states going, okay, we can't, it's not CBD anymore, we can't sell this, and that's kind of where people started making it illegal.
Yeah.
But yeah, we were on the forefront of it. At one point, I think we could sell. It was like 48 states or 46 states. It was almost all of them.
Oh, wow.
I think now it's around like 30 states.
30. And are you making sure that your product's in all 30? What markets are you really focusing on, and what are the reasons behind that?
Yeah, so the big thing for us is markets, what we've seen, and again, just helping my fellow brothers out, even if they're not our brand. Guys that do not have recreational and medical yet, that's kind of who we focus after. What we've seen is these guys that are turning and making it illegal, they do have some kind of either recreational or medical. And so they're kind of going hard against the deltas. So that's been our focus, like a Tennessee. And I know laws, everybody's kind of rewriting their hemp law right now. So, that is what it is. But a lot of those states that don't have the recreational or the medical,
Yeah.
they're a little more hemp derivative friendly.
Okay.
And so that's kind of who we're focused on. So we see longevity there. Everybody saw that Florida hiccup that happened 6 months ago where they thought it was going to be illegal overnight. And again, they have recreational and medical down there. And
Yes.
so what we've seen, what our legal team has told us is it's a better choice to go after these guys that don't have any of those kind of procedures in place. That way we have the 5 to 10 year play. And hopefully these states, when they go to rewrite their laws, even with medical and recreational, they leave a place for us, because back to it, our industry is what's pushed all the new cannabinoids. The medical, nobody knew what CBN was. Very rarely. I won't talk generals here, but very rarely CBN was a focus, CBG was a focus. It was our industry that really brought that stuff to market as it expanded. And so hopefully they keep those because they see why these other cannabinoids have its place. And we'll get there. We just had a big meeting last night about going into Arizona with our brand into the legal space. We're talking about medical and recreational, because that is the move. We don't chase all those trends for a reason. Our reputation's on the line, and there are things that we believe is real medicine, and that's what we're going to push. And so even when we go into the medical and recreational, we're going to bring that message.
Awesome. And you mentioned medical and recreational. Are you guys in any dispensaries that also have, the THC flower that you'll find that people are looking for, that's illegal in certain states, but it's becoming more and more acceptable and throughout the U.S.?
So we're not there yet. That
Okay.
was last night's meeting, is hopefully to bridge that in, because you can't. Well, I say you can't. I think California, when we had a show out, or in Las Vegas, when we had a show out there, a lot of people from California were saying, well, we can sell CBD and Delta 8, but I think the laws are a little bit everywhere, and it is state by state. You really got to talk to your legal team about it.
Right.
So we're not in any of them yet, but the brand coming in those states and doing cannabis derived, talking about, Delta 9 cannabis derived products,
Yep.
that is the vision. That is what we're going for to have both.
Awesome. And you mentioned the legal team. I was going to ask, are there newsletters or things that you follow or that your team will follow just to stay on top of what's happening as far as the legality and where you guys can be in all of this?
Yeah. So shout out. We have a really good relationship with Rod Kite. I think he's Kite Cannabis Law. He's kind of the forefront leader in all of it, from what I understand.
Okay.
And then also we have another guy, Daniel McGee, incredible. He comes from big tobacco kind of law. Two incredible guys. So Daniel doesn't really put out as much of the newsletters. Rod Kite, I know he's consistently putting out newsletters. Just a really good guy to follow who is on top of it. Busy guy, so getting him on retainer is a little hard.
Yes.
You're welcome for the plug, but
There you go.
But he's really incredible. He's always on top of it. He's done really well for us.
So you would suggest if somebody wants to bring out their own product, they don't really know as much as far as what markets are legal, what markets aren't, to get a legal team on their side to kind of walk them through things. Do you know of any newsletters that people can join up to? Or?
Rod's is a newsletter.
Oh, he does have a newsletter.
And
Okay.
I would say he should be your number one source. If
Okay.
you're new getting into it and you don't pay a legal team, his newsletter is a really great place to see it. I'll say this though too, he'll come out with a newsletter that says North Carolina THCA flower, for example, because we're out of North Carolina. And so when he talked about the THCA flower out there, a lot of people use that as the ticket to go forward with moving THCA flower there.
Awesome.
And so I would use him as a newsletter as a pretty good preference on how you should move forward, but always get like a cannabis lawyer, ideally, that can look into it a little bit more for your specific situation.
And you said, what was his name? Rod?
Rod Kite.
Kite? K-I-T-E?
Yeah.
Okay,
Kite Law.
Rod Kite. Awesome. So that's one thing that we wanted to go over is the legality. When new products are coming into the industry, that there's questions around them. Are they going to be legal? We know psilocybin is becoming very popular within this space.
Right.
Are there any other products that you guys are looking to bring into your line? Kava, Kratom, and why not, or why would you?
Yeah, no, great question, bro. We're big on holistic medicine as a whole. And so the vision from my business partner, Will, the vision for us is holistic medicine that can replace any pharmaceutical medicine. I really believe, Chinese medicine that's been around for 2,000 plus years, there's a reason they still go more of that route. And so that is where we're headed. Not Your Son's weed with our cannabinoids and the real medicine and the blends that we're going to bring, it's going to have its place. Shrooms, mushrooms, they have their place. We already had the logo for Not Your Son's Shrooms done for a year, waiting on the right moment, because I take mud water every day, which is what do they call them? It's not psychotropic mushrooms. It's just overall health. I can't even think of the word.
Relaxes you, gives you a relaxing effect, or
I think
energetic?
it's more energetic.
Okay.
I think it's longevity energy for me.
Okay.
So I take it in the morning. I take mud water in the morning. I think it is longevity energy. You're more focused. There are certain ones that will bring, like reishi and turkey tail, ones that will kind of calm you down. I think it's just whatever your body needs. To be honest, your body's pretty smart.
Yeah.
And when you give it these compounds, it kind of knows how to bring you back to homeostasis. So mud water for me in the morning, super focused just throughout the day, longevity energy. So we've talked about doing those adaptogenics.
Okay.
Adaptogenatives.
Okay.
We've talked about doing those blends with our gummies, with our chocolates. Not the trippy ones, not the ones that are going to make you go to the moon like we're all used to taking in college.
Right.
But the ones that are for everyday benefits.
Okay. Lion's Mane? Is that?
Lion's Mane,
Yep.
Chaga. There's a guy, again, I'll plug him up. This is where we get a lot of our research. A guy named Paul Stampment.
Okay.
His company is called, oh man, it'll come to me. It'll
Gotcha.
come to me, bro. Host Defense. It's called Host Defense.
Post defense. Okay.
The number one mushroom expert in our generation, like 40 years into it.
Wow.
You can find him on TED Talks and all that. And so Will takes his blend of mushrooms every day. It's called the Stammit 7. So he takes that blend every day. I do my mud water just because it's deliverable. It's kind of like a coffee. So I just use that. But these different blends that we've been taking, that we've been doing for 2 years, we make the best chocolate in the game. Our gummies are all natural ingredients, all natural flavoring. Like, why would we not bring it to people? Because not everybody wants to drink it in a mud water. or in a drink form. Not everybody wants to take it in a capsule form. Some people do want it in a chocolate. Some people want it in the gummy. And so we've talked about those blends that we've seen improve our life, bringing those into our products without the trippy side. Now, the trippy side, the psilocybin and all that, it has its place. You know, microdosing is a huge thing right now.
Yeah.
It has its place. Anamina muscaria, I know you've probably had a couple people talk to you about that. My business partner, Will, is really big into the psilocybin, the Anamina muscaria, different things like that. We've talked about it with our brand. It's just we have a couple of other things that we want to bring to market first, but it is there. Like it will be something that we do. We're, again, big on holistic health, there are so many problems that people deal with in life that pharmaceuticals have failed them at, that I believe naturally it can happen. So that's it's coming. It's coming, Mike.
Awesome. And do you guys offer any other type of white labeling services? Is it something that you guys thought about? And what kind of benefits would that bring to your brand?
So we again, I'll get real honest. Came in from the white labeling space, CBD days. I created like 30 some brands, and that's what, when the Deltas came around, I told Will, I said, bro, I've already, we did all the design, the marketing, we would do it. And I was like, bro, let's just bring it in-house and focus on us and really build it, because we make the best products. Like, I know you're probably going to have everybody on this podcast say that, but you can try our stuff, highest quality from all of it, whether it's the chocolate, the ingredients that go into it, the distillate, the device itself. And so we doubled down just on Not Your Son's Weed. We still do some white label contracts, it's some big brands that you would know, and we're blessed to do them, but really the focus is our brand. What does it do for you? It helps for you to have cash flow to expand larger with your brand, and it is, my guys are all family to me. We only make products for guys that align with what we're going. Again, we've had guys that asked us, we make a THCO product, and we wouldn't. And it's like, if you need somebody to do that, there are other guys we can put you in touch with, but that's not us. It doesn't align with what we're doing. So white labeling has its place. It's been a blessing for sure to help us get where we want to with this brand and expand it. But the focus is Not Your Son's Weed, with the different formulations that we want to bring to market that help with all the different problems people deal with on the daily basis.
Awesome. Cory, I really appreciate that. As you heard it here first, Not Your Son's Weed here at the Expo. Let everybody know. I'm sure we'll have your Instagram and everything on there. Where can they find you guys?
So on Instagram, Not Your Son's Weed. You have to spell it just like it's written out, because Instagram with the shadow ban, they'll get you. So it's Not Ya Son's Weed, no apostrophe in there. We have a YouTube channel. You'll see all of our marketing videos on there. Just created an educational video series where we're going to talk about products. Well, what I realized, I was a big cigar guy back in the day, and what I realized is people really want to taste it before they buy it. So between me and we have a woman that writes a food column back home in Durham, she's pretty well known. Me and her taste stuff every Sunday, and we make these videos to help bring it to the YouTube for education, help people understand what they might try before they try it. So back to it, Instagram, Not Your Son's Weed, LinkedIn, Not Your Son's Weed, YouTube, Not Your Son's Weed, and then the website is notyoursons.com. The reason we did that is because we have the Not Your Son's shrooms coming and all the other stuff that we might get into one day, the holistic medicine, ginseng, all of it.
Awesome. So you mentioned Durham. I actually just flew in from North Carolina myself, from the Triangle area, so maybe we'll see you out there.
Bro, RDU, that's our spot.
There it is.
You're 15 minutes from the office.
There it is. I'm actually around Pittsburgh, so that's a little further out, but it's all in the same area.
You flew into Pittsburgh? That's where you're living?
That's where, my mother's over there, so I have some family staying in Pittsburgh.
Bro, that's 20 minutes from us.
There it is. Yep. I'll have to check you out.
Mike's a rapper, if y'all didn't know. Me and him are going to hit some freestyles after this. Back home, we're close to each other, so be looking for him. Be looking for his social channel, his songs. You might see your boy hop into.
There it is. I'm Mike, obviously, he just said it. My name's Kiko, is my artist name. Cory, I appreciate it again. It's been a pleasure.
Mike, I appreciate it, bro.
All right.
And guys, thank y'all so much for all the support. All of our stores, again, that have helped us grow where we're at today. We just launched the website for direct consumer also, because we have people that were national that wanted to try our stuff, and that we would meet at these trade shows that couldn't buy it from their local store because we were only B2B. So the website's live, notyoursons.com. You're going to see a lot of stuff coming forward, a lot of new products, a lot of education, a lot of things just to know that to let our consumers know that we care about you and we're always listening. So thank you all so much. Mike, thank you for the opportunity. And thank you all at Pro to let your favorite brand be out here. We appreciate it.
Yes.
Stay blessed, y'all.
Awesome.
The industry continues to evolve, so will we, bringing you the latest trends, innovations, and stories from the front lines. Don't forget to share this podcast with your friends, family, and industry peers to help us spread the word and continue to grow this community. Thank you for being a part of the Alternative Products Podcast.